Paradigm Shift episode 128. That's a commitment. Wow, that feels good. Real good. We have a very special guest on today. I'm really excited about this one specifically. We're going to bring him on in 5 minutes. In the meantime, we're going to bring on Uncle Dave, and let's get this party started. Uncle Dave, I see you. You sex goose. Let's do this. How's everybody feeling? Burn and see you all out there. Let's have some fun. Happy Saturday, Labor Day weekend. Summer's over. Did it really start though? Never had one. Launched the book though. Uncle Dave, how you doing?
Uncle Dave is doing great. It's my wife's birthday, and I have utilized time in an effective manner to celebrate my anniversary on the 31st, 26 years with my unbelievable, gorgeous, wonderful wife, and then go all the way to Florida and work at the Blue Collar Convention, the American Dream Convention, with the incredible Lee Haight and Derek Fay and Fleisch. Happy birthday to Dan Fleischman as well, my boy. I've been coaching him since he was 19, but made it back last night, and now I'm going to celebrate Julie's birthday. We're going to have an amazing day, watch Miles play football, and then go off to Santa Barbara. So, when I can execute on what I teach myself and not be a hypocrite, it feels really good. As you know, being a public figure, it sucks when you're a hypocrite, when you're telling people what to do, and then you catch yourself going, maybe I should do what I tell other people to do. Well, I'm proud of myself this week because I am doing what I'm teaching and walking the walk, and not, at least today, I am not a hypocrite, so that feels good.
Well, first of all, we're human, but for the most part, I would say 98, 99% of the time, you do what you say.
I don't know the percentage because the only percentage I know to be true is 99% of all statistics are made up. So although 100% of the things you do now do get done, that's another one that's true. But I am getting better is the bigger point. I don't know the percentage. I compared to 10 years ago, 20, 30 years ago, I'm getting better, right? I'm progressing because I have a source of faith that my good behaviors are aggregating, compounding, and exponentially creating outcomes for me and accelerating in that manner. So it's a matter of progress, not perfection, and notating that I am doing my best. I am making money. I am helping people. I am having fun. And I'm spending minutes and moments in hypocrisy. I'm spending minutes and moments in fear and doubt. But the majority of the time, or more time than not, and more time than I used to, I'm living in my essence, my truth. And I hate feeling like a hypocrite, but almost every day I'm human, like you said, and I do shit that I wouldn't teach you to do.
Yeah, a couple of things. Number one, you are a sex goose, so there's that. I saw Colleen on here. I owe you an email back. I will get to it today. And also, maybe most importantly, happy birthday to Julie. The greatest decision Dave ever made. It's also my pop's birthday tomorrow.
Hey, happy birthday, Pops.
Yeah, it's a great month for that stuff. But
you know why so many birthdays are in September or late August? You know why, right?
No, I do not.
New Year's Eve. Count back how many months it is to New Year's Eve.
That's awesome.
Yeah, man. So, unlike us, some people only are intimate with their spouses once a year. So Pops's and Julie's parents, they were definitely either, drinkers on New Year's Eve, or they were once a year people. But either way, New Year's Eve has created a lot of beautiful people like my wife and your dad.
I love it. I love you. A great one. We have a really awesome guest on today. I'm personally I'm pumped about all our guests, but this one specifically, a lot of alignment. We're going to bring them on in 2 minutes. But Dave, for the first time in maybe 2 years, I'm going to have you kick it off with asking me a question.
Oh, I love this, man. I've been waiting. And this is not, I didn't bring this up to Craig. He did this on his own. So, Craig, in all the years that we've been working together, what's your number one takeaway? What's something that every day from our working together, collaborating together, learning together, sharing together, what's the one thing that's a common denominator every day, whether it's simple or not, that you've learned from our mutual learning experience?
There's many, but the top one is actually pretty simple, and that is your ability to master the art of showing up. You are the most consistent cat I've ever seen in any arena of life. It's rubbed off on me. I think it's a big part of the success that I've had over the last couple of years. And it's so interesting because it's a superpower that's accessible to everybody, but yet it's where most people fail or don't hit the marks because they're not as consistent as they could be. And you make zero excuses. You work hard, you travel a lot, you have a family, you run multiple businesses. It's just so impressive. It's contagious, and it's something that I've really taken from you and applied it to my own life, and has been very rewarding for me.
It's extremely rewarding for me to see your progress, and I'm doing my best as you are doing your best to enjoy the consistent, everyday, persistent, without quit pursuit of your potential, and the evolution of you knowing your potential, knowing that you can never overachieve your own self-image has been a joy as well, and giving you a special spot. I don't, as you know, I work with a lot of people for free in group settings and one-on-one and business advisory settings, but only a few people I take every week to spend time with in this manner, and it's a great joy. I look forward to it. It annoys my wife sometimes on Saturday morning because it's a little bit early here, as you found out when you were in LA, but she knows how much it means to me. And so even on her birthday, she knew that we weren't going to break the streak and I was going to show up. You know how many people, by the way, Craig, would have made an excuse on why they can't be here, right? Yeah. And when I catch you doing it and other people doing it around me, I giggle because I'm like, they'll get there. Where I used to take offense to it, now I'm very forgiving of it and just say, like, they're just not ready yet. Because when you've had it with one of our friends or a few of our friends at your book signing, right? You can make excuses. You can make excuses. I could easily have texted you, brother, I can't do it. It's my wife's birthday today. You're not a priority for 30 minutes. But that's not the truth. The truth is I can do both. My wife is my priority. Behind my health, my wife is my priority. But I also have room in the 24 hours today to give a priority to 30 minutes to you and our community. And I think, stop lying to yourself, people. All you're doing is prioritizing when you're making excuses why you can't show up.
Yeah, I love it. Love you. And one of the coolest things that we do on the show, which people might not really understand to the full extent, is we always take real life experiences and use them as lessons. And I just think that's super cool.
Yeah, I do.
I'm going to bring on JB right now.
JB.
Kelly, Al Herrera.
Al Herrera.
Ken.
Herrera's in the house, my man.
Viv.
He shows up too. My man Al shows up. Oh, there he is.
What's up?
What's up?
How are you?
Thank you, man. How are you guys?
Amazing.
Doing great. I am now the third most handsome cat on this live. Thank you for joining us, brother. How are you?
Doing good. Thank you guys.
Where are you calling in from?
I'm from Dallas, so Dallas, Texas. Yep.
Hell yeah. You excited about the football season?
Oh yeah. I played ball in high school and college, and I played at UNC, North Carolina, and so they're playing today against South Carolina, and so I'm really excited about seeing them play today.
Who do you think has the best, this is for both of you, right off the cuff, who has the best chance this year? The Cowboys, the Chargers, or the Jets?
Man, I'm from Dallas, but the Cowboys, I've had to stop putting my hope in them. But I love Aaron Rodgers, and so I'm excited to see what he does for the Jets.
Yeah, well, I agree. Dallas is let me down, as early on when working with Lee Steinberg, we represented Troy Aikman. So we've had quite a few extraordinary Dallas Cowboys back when they actually could win a Super Bowl. This is not the year they're going to win a Super Bowl, and I agree with you, which probably means they will win it. When I start doubting teams, that's when they start winning. I'm a huge Charger fan, Craig, as you know, but I think the better team between the Chargers and the Jets is the Jets, and I'm amazing fan of Aaron Rodgers. I think he still has a few years left in him, like Tom Brady did late in his career. And I think that he finally, this may be, tell me, you're a football guy. I played football in college as well. Just, I'm not as good as you. I was more an average Division III football player, but I took a lot of lessons from it. And I will tell you that this is probably the best squad that Aaron Rodgers has had around him. And so if you want to bet against Aaron Rodgers with an incredible team around him, I think you're a fool. Even if you're a Charger fan, even if you're a Cowboy fan, if you're a football scholar like JB and I, you got to go with the Jets.
Fair enough. Love it. Glad I asked.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just cursed the Jets, by the way, knowing my history.
For our communities and audiences that might not be familiar with JB, please do a deep dive, play catch up, check out his unbelievable content, all the awesome things he has going on. What I think will be most valuable today, make the most effective use of the time, is just hit on some awesome topics. And I was checking out your content, brother, which I suggest everybody should. You had some really awesome quotes that I think would make for some great conversation pieces. And one of them was that pain is the glue that holds us all together. And I thought that was really beautiful. Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah. So for me, I grew up in I'm just going to kind of tell you a little bit of the story and kind of go into it. But I grew up in a pastor's home. My dad's a pastor, and, from the Bible Belt. And growing up, it was, I loved the church, but it was, you got to push pain down. Let's not talk about it. Let's put on a happy face. And I got really good at masking. I got really good at numbing the pain. And that's a lot of my life up until about a year and a half ago. I was numbing pain. And really that quote was to say, hey, listen, we all have pain. And some pain's good, some pain's bad, but a lot of us numb that pain that's happened to us in our lives. And if we'll just face it, and not only that, if we'll face it together, it'll bring us together, and it'll make us all better humans to face it.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say, absolutely. I said I'd take it kind of a step farther, JB, in my life. Pain to me, pain, setbacks, failures, mistakes, defining moments, historical relevances, even successes are indicators to me. So for me, when there's pain in my life, I elevate my awareness to understand that there's an indication from God that I have a better place to be. Even though I don't understand it or believe that it's in my best interest, when there's pain in my life, I know that God is telling me I have a better place to be. And the example that I use, that so many people, when I was 3 years old, I had this amazing mom, raised 6 kids, single mom, 5 boys, 1 girl. My mom was a 2nd grade teacher, so she never yelled. She absolutely never hit anyone, right? This is the kind of woman she is, and I know a lot of people have moms like this. I went when I was 3 to reach out and touch the stove, and the stove was burning hot. My mom immediately slapped the back of my hand as hard and as quick as she could and screamed at me, no. I immediately started to cry. I immediately said to her, Mom, what did I do? Why are you punishing me? Why'd you hit me? Why'd you hurt me, Mom? Why are you punishing me? And she immediately hugged me. And she said, no, baby, doll, I love you. I'm protecting you. I'm promoting you. I'm teaching you that this is going to burn you. So it is how anytime a girl broke up with me, I didn't get into the college I wanted to. I didn't get to play D1 college football. I didn't get to go to the law school I wanted to. Stanford, by the way. That's what I'd say to Stanford. I now get to teach at Stanford. So, that's my favorite thing that makes me laugh now. I wasn't good enough to go learn there, but I'm good enough to teach there. Just goes to show you pain's an indicator you got a better place to be. And so just like you're reaching out to touch fire when something bad happens, it's indicating to you that you're protected and promoted. And if you don't have that source of faith, religious, spiritual, theoretical, even I'm losing the word. It's okay. In any type of realm that you believe in, define it how you want, God, Jesus, Muhammad, just remember pain is the glue because it's the indicator.
That's good.
Yeah, that is good. Beautifully said. So many places we could take this conversation. I think all three of us can relate to this, but I saw JB talking about it specifically, and that is, like me, you were also a recovering people pleaser. I spent 35 years in that frequency, um, and it's so liberating to prioritize yourself and so forth. What is something, because I know there's a lot of people in our audience that feel like that, what is something tangible that someone could do that maybe you did to be more in congruency and in alignment with yourself and not be a people pleaser?
Yeah, for me, and this is just what it is for me, because honestly, I don't know what everyone else's background is. I don't know what their scenario is right now, but for me, it was listening to that pain and getting really honest with myself. And I had to go to rehab. I went to an addiction treatment because I was medicating uh, all of these feelings. And when I was there, there's two things that really helped me. Number one was just surrendering, and it was kind of a forced surrender because I didn't have a phone. I'm locked away with 20 other guys in the middle of nowhere, but just surrendering, and it hurt. There's a quote: "The only way through the pain is the pain," and sitting in it and not running from it anymore. But um, going through that at the same time was I had a lot of conversations. A lot of it had to do with my dad and being honest with my dad and letting him truly know me. He didn't know me because I didn't feel like he would accept me. So it was very deep. But we had psychodrama sessions, and I would have those conversations with a man that sat in for my dad, and I would practice talking to him. And on the last week we were there, we had family therapy. And lucky enough for me, my dad was in an amazing frame of mind when he came, and I had those honest conversations with him. And I saw him. He said to me, "I don't want anyone but the real you." And I think that broke something in me to where I was like, I got to be me. Like, I can't hold back anymore. I got to just be me. I got to show him who I am. And I got to show my wife who I am and the people around me who I am. And not only that, but it's like I finally got to know myself. I didn't know myself before. So I think the most important part is knowing who you are and having a relationship with yourself. Because before that, I don't think I knew who I really was.
I just got really emotional. That gave me the chills, actually. Dave, I know you can relate to this big time.
Yeah, I'm a pleaser as well. I think there's a personal energy crisis, and that's why we have so many addiction issues today, anxiety and depression issues today. And here's where the personal energy crisis exists. And this is experience JB had, I had, and Craig, I know you have had as well. This is who I am. And there's only one person that knows who I am, me. Because there's multiple snapshots of me every day of who people think I am. And there's also multiple experiences within the context of myself of who I am. And then there's over here who I want people to think I am. And the energy that is sucked in between these two people is a crisis. It is the biggest waste of time, energy, emotion, value, and money. I lost over $100 million between who I am and who I wanted people to think I am. Buying shit I didn't need to impress people I didn't like. Right? There's a huge gap here. Imagine over $100 million in this personal energy crisis. And I want people to think about I am not getting religious on everyone, but that source of faith that I have, that there is something bigger than me that loves me more than my mom. So when I get slapped because I'm reaching out to a fire that I don't know is going to burn me, I know I'm being protected and promoted, and I'm okay with who I am. And what you think of me is none of my business. And that personal energy suck. My life is spent trying to depreciate, dissolve, and dissipate this gap. There'll always be a gap, right? Because I'm human. Just like I'm always a hypocrite every day. It's just how many minutes am I hypocritical or judgmental or opinionated, and I'm not working in faith to be my better self. But I've narrowed it down. It's smaller. I know that. Far smaller than it was 30 years ago when I used to numb myself with drugs and alcohol and all types of idiotic behaviors, trying to please people that I didn't even like. or didn't even want to be around, or didn't even want to be like, not just want to be like, I didn't want to be like them either, right? It wasn't just being liked by them. It was, I didn't want to be like them. And I think that personal energy suck, that crisis that exists, is something all of us can work on and be happier doing so. And I'm so pleased your dad. It's amazing when we illuminate and are vulnerable, how many people respond to that better than all the bullshit they've responded to over the years of trying to please them.
Yeah, and two things. The first thing was, I really felt like, you know, in rehab, I had a relationship with God beforehand, but the first thing they told me there was, I want you to forget everything that you know. And I was like, that's kind of scary, but I didn't see God in the way that he saw me. And I saw him as a coach. I saw him as, you know, someone that cared more about how I acted than who I was. And I came to a point where I was like, my purpose on this earth is to be me and no one else. And it's to, when you're you, there's freedom, and not this freedom to do whatever you want, but there's this freedom to express how you feel and the emotions that you have, and trust yourself and know that there's something bigger out there that loves you. And not only that, it's this sense of security and knowing I don't have to prove anything. There is no image to uphold. I'm just going to be myself. And I think that was something that really, really helped me in those times of trying to know who I was, knowing myself. And the only way I knew myself was to work through the pain to find, the biggest part was to find that little JB on the other side, that it was the childhood trauma therapy, going back and meeting that little me that I had buried, because it was these safety mechanisms I put up because I didn't feel like he could be himself. And so really this last year and a half has been, I'm going to let little JB free. I'm going to wake up. I'm going to be happy. I'm going to be excited. And it's like this innocence, this childlikeness that I feel like that's where we're supposed to live our life from. This joy, this peace, this happiness, this faith that my dad's got this, or my mom's got this, and my God has got this. He's got me, and I can be trustworthy in that. And when you go through things, it skews that. When you go through things as you grow up, but when you do the work to work through it, man, life looks a lot different and it feels different.
Dave, this might be the deepest episode of all 128. I love it. And isn't it ironic how when we try to be something we're not for so long, we think we're like letting ourselves off the hook or doing the right thing, but that's actually the heavy part. And then when we actually find out who we are and illustrate that to the world, it's like we're liberated and we're set free. Right, Dave?
Yeah, we're not only liberating ourselves, but we're giving others, like JB's dad, permission to liberate their truth and to liberate themselves, that through their activities and actions may have been miscommunicated or misinterpreted between what we think from the snapshots of the humanness that somebody else that's closest and most relative to us is. So I think it's really important to liberate ourselves, but also to share that with others so that they feel comfortable liberate. I can't tell you, real quick, Craig, I was in a meeting, guy flies private out to go meet me, you know, he's big Wall Street guy, and comes in, meets me at the Ritz-Carlton, and he spends the first 10 minutes telling me how everything he touches turned to gold. And so then I said, oh man, you know, I had that journey when I was young, and then everything I touched turned to shit because I surrounded myself with shit, and I, you know, screwed up everything in my life. And I'm just glad that I didn't die, and I'm glad that my wife is still with me. And here I am 17 years later where I'm at, and I've had a lot of pain in my life and a lot of setbacks and failures. By me saying that to him, all of a sudden, the next 30 minutes was about how effed up the guy was and how much failure he had. You know, he went from being Midas back into human. And so I think it's really important that we understand the duplicative value of being honest and vulnerable with ourselves to allow others to feel comfortable being honest and vulnerable with us.
So
what a beautiful analogy. Yeah, I know we're wrapping up here, David. I want you to spend quality time with your wife on her birthday. One final quick nugget for JB. I saw you. This is kind of what I thought about when I reinvented myself 3 years ago. And I think most people have these big ideas and they want to do other things, but they start thinking about what can go wrong and it paralyzes them from even beginning. But you had an awesome paradigm shift, no pun intended. And you were talking about, but what if it all goes right? How powerful is that perspective, Dave?
I think it's the most powerful perspective. And that comes from, I believe, being right with yourself internally. When you're right with yourself internally, then what's right for you is going to come to you. And so I think, you hear about generational trauma, you hear about people just they're not in a great place, and they create these layers to hide what's there. But if people will just stop and they'll turn around and they'll face the heat that they've been running from, not only will they heal, but their family will heal, and their generations to come will heal, and what's for them will come to them. I believe the universe, God, will bring to them what is for them, because they're ready to have that. And so you're not living this life from a deficit. You're living this life from knowing what's for me is going to be for me, and what if it goes good. And so that's just a new way that I've seen life, that's came from a sense of security in myself and a faith in God, knowing that He's going to take care of me. He's going to take care of my family, and what's for me is for me, and what's not isn't. And I can have peace in that.
Dave, you want to take this home?
Yeah, I think real simply, one of the greatest nuances is, it's not lying at home on your mom's couch, high, broke, and sick, dreaming about what you want and trusting God will just drive up your Ferrari into your driveway. It's about doing your best every day, learning lessons from doing your best, and having love in your life, light in your life, those lessons in your life. So do your best, learn lessons, and enjoy the journey, regardless of the amount of pain or indicators that occur. And it's a key component, because a lot of people hear JB, and when he talks about surrendering, allowing things to happen, having faith, they can't reconcile being a ferocious Buddha. You got to be ferocious every day, but you can be Buddhist about the outcomes. You can trust that even though the outcome's not what you wanted, it's better than what you wanted. But you got to work and make sure you're focused in on your attention and intention on what you do want, not what you don't want. That will give you more of what you do want. I promise you. Hey, JB, we got to hook up, man. Congratulations on all your success. You're an amazing, wise young man, and I go UNC and go Jets.
Yeah. Thank you, guys, and thank you for having me on. It was
Maybe this was special, brother. Thank you for the vulnerability, and I'm excited to connect to you further, do some more things. Have our audience all check out all the awesome stuff he has going on. Dave, thank you for your time on Julie's birthday. Tell her we love her and happy birthday. Let's have a great weekend, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you, Craig. Happy birthday, Julie. I love you. All right.
Guys. Have a good weekend. That was powerful. Wow, real powerful. For our community that might not have been familiar with JB, do yourself a favor, check out all the awesome stuff he has going on. Thank me later. Wow. Love the vulnerability. Love the really deep, tough conversations and pain and being honest with yourself, understanding who you are, all that stuff. Really, 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 really good conversation. Probably worth a re-listen as well. Thank you guys for joining us. If you haven't already, you should definitely grab this Wall Street Journal bestselling reinvention formula. So I'm pumped about that. And happy birthday to Dave's better half, Julie. It's Labor Day weekend, guys. It's kind of the end of the summer. As they say, it's a good time to really focus on how you want to end the year strong. We have 4 months left. So October, yes, 4 months left. Really think about how you want to dominate and crush in all the areas, not just business, but husband, father, son, brother, whatever the case may be. Really go all in. Live with a sense of urgency and mindfulness. And just do some great stuff. Why not you? Love you guys. Have a great weekend.